Hey everyone, this is Daniel from Phone Arena with the Sony Ericsson Xperia Arc S, a slight upgrade to the phone that reclaimed Sony Ericsson's Android module, the Xperia Arc, as it keeps the same arched sexy design with 8.7mm midsection, but overclocks the single core processor to 1.4 GHz compared to 1 GHz, and adds a faster baseband radio, 14.4 megabits per second versus 7.2. It also teaches the 8 megapixel Exmor-R camera on the back, some new tricks like the 3D panorama mode. It's thin, tall and narrow, and that seems to be the way to go with big mobile displays like the 4.2-inch one on the Xperia Arc S, as you have a larger screen real estate but still can reach the other end of the screen with your thumb when operating with one hand. The 4.2-inch so-called reality display sports 480 by 854 pixels and is bright enough under direct sunlight. Plus it has this mobile Bravia engine that's taken directly from Sony's flat screen TVs, which boosts color saturation and contrast when watching pics and video. You can turn it off if you want, but there's no reason to do it. The weakness of the display is in its viewing angles, as the colors and brightness degrade significantly with the slightest tilt, as you can see. Overall, we have the same great slim design and lightweight due to the thorough use of plastic for the chassis, as we had with the Sony Ericsson Xperia Arc. The use of plastic makes the back cover flex a bit when pressed inwards, but not a big deal. Let's have a quick look at the interface now. This is the new Timescape UI of Sony Ericsson, which replaced the previous Android overlay, which basically had both a Timescape and a Mediascape version, but the Mediascape for the card-based system about your multimedia is now shrunk down to this small widget here at the bottom dock. But the Timescape component has stayed, which is a card-based notification system about your social networking updates, emails, messages, so on and so forth, which you can flip up and down like that from the home screen widget or directly from the Timescape app. Pretty smooth looking and feeling, but of course it's mostly eye candy, but there are the additional services you can download and receive updates from right here in the Timescape app or the widget on the home screen. And apart from that, the Timescape UI is pretty beautiful with nice gradient colors, transitional animations throughout, as you can see. Pretty heavily modified main menu, which you can arrange any way you like. Typing on the Xperia Arc S is a joy, since the screen is pretty big. We had absolutely no issues typing in portrait as well as in landscape modes. It supports swipe with this artsy light blue trail. Left when you're trying to write. And everything works pretty well. This mobile Bravia engine setting you can switch on and off from the settings, but there's basically no reason to do that, as it bumps the contrast and saturation of the colors when you're watching pics and video, makes everything better looking on the screen. There's some settings for Facebook inside Xperia. You can select which applications are syncing with your Facebook account right from here, and the calendar is also very good looking, both visually and it's pretty functional. You can select different views. The browser on the phone is very good, as we can expect from an Android handset with 1.4 GHz processor. It only gives in to the dual-core ones in terms of page loading speeds, but for pinch to zoom, panning around, double tap, everything works flawlessly, and it supports text reflow as well. When you double tap, it fits the article on the screen so you can read it easier. And of course, as with all Android handsets, 1 GHz and above, you have flawless Adobe Flash, desktop Adobe Flash support, which is a great feature to have. The music player has this excellent interface, minimalistic. The album cover art takes the whole background, which makes everything look pretty. It's also very functional. You can categorize your songs by artists, albums, tracks and playlists, etc. As on other music players, here you also have a couple of equalizer presets, and also this X Loud mode, which when checked on provides one of the best loudspeaker experiences we've encountered on a phone, like with the other handsets from the Xperia line. Loudspeaker has deep bass sounds, very loud and clear output, basically one of the best loudspeakers we've met on a phone, like with the other phones from the Xperia line. You can also like this song directly from the music player on your Facebook account, like here. We've already done that, so you can remove this post or leave it like that. But that's part of the Facebook Inside Xperia integration on the Xperia Arc S. The 8-megapixel XMOR-R sensor has a pretty rich camera interface with a bunch of shooting modes. Scene recognition here on automatic is pretty good. It can figure out what you're pointing at with your camera pretty quickly and adjust accordingly. You also have the normal shooting mode with a bunch of preset scenes you can choose from. And there are some new tricks here, like this sweep panorama mode compared to the Arc S, which we didn't have there. You just set the direction you'll be shooting the panorama at, right, left, down and up, and start rotating the phone in that direction until the panorama is taken. Of course, it's best to use a tripod in this mode. There's also something brand new called 3D panorama, 3D camera. You can either start it directly from here, from this app, or for the camera interface. It basically translates the two-dimensional panorama into three-dimensional with some clever algorithm of Sony Ericsson. But it's only good to watch on Sony's 3D HD TVs, which makes it basically too much of a hassle to deal with, but it's nice to have nonetheless. Pictures themselves turned pretty good, with a good amount of detail, good colors, a bit oversaturated, and a bit higher contrast than reality. They could be a bit sharper as well as the video, but pretty good results nonetheless, especially in low light. Since we have a backlit sensor, the only drawback in low light is that the pictures turn out a bit soft, since the noise suppression algorithms smear the detail a little bit. In our review of the Sony Ericsson Xperia Arc, we said that the company has nailed it. But now with the Xperia Arc S, we'd say we have a minor upgrade on our hands. The thin arched profile that makes you forget you're holding a gadget with a huge 4.2-inch reality display stays, as well as the lightweight and this sleek, classy look all around with this chromed sides. The Timescape UI is also very pretty and functional with its Facebook Inside Xperia edition, which allows you to, let's say, like one song on Facebook directly here from the music player, and some other deep social networking integration. The second generation Snapdragon chip is bumped to 1.4 GHz for a slight increase in performance, which however you could have done yourself with an overclocking app, for example. The added 2D panorama option in the camera interface is also nothing you couldn't have obtained from Android market with a dedicated app. Thus, the only tangible benefits of the Sony Ericsson Arc S over its predecessor, the Arc, are the 3D panorama option, which is nice, but it's not a must-have feature, and the 14 megabits per second baseband radio instead of 7.2. But download speeds are so network dependent that you'd be lucky to max out the previous radio even. There's a nice 8-megapixel camera with a back illuminated sensor, which produces good results, and an excellent loudspeaker that we have in the Xperia Arc 2. So you basically can save yourself the price difference between the Xperia Arc S and its predecessor, unless you find it somewhere cheaper. In this price range, you can get phones like the HTC Desire HD, which sports similar specs but a more solid and heavier unibody design. If you step it up a notch, you can grab the Samsung Galaxy S2 or the HTC Sensation, which will bring you 1080p video capture, faster browser performance, and a future-proof dual-core chipset. In case 4.2 inch is too big for you, an even thinner and more compact handset for this price is the Sony Ericsson Xperia Ray, which has the same camera and 3.2 inch display with very good pixel density, as it sports the same resolution as the Arc S. Now that the Apple iPhone 4 has fallen in price, it's also a great alternative to the Arc S and has a memorable design too, with the best app store out there, but is heavier and with no Adobe Flash support. This was a video review of the Sony Ericsson Xperia Arc S from Phone Arena. For more information about this and other handsets, you can visit us at phonearena.com. Thanks for watching.